Have you seen the Viking statue standing confidently in front of Hallgrímskirkja in Reykjavik? Who is this Viking? This is Leif Erikson. He may have beaten Columbus to setting foot on the New World by over 500 years. Erikson, born in the icy landscapes of Iceland, was not just a man of frost and fjords. His life was one of conquests and nautical exploits, a saga worthy of the old Norse epics. This bold Viking embarked on a journey that would etch his name in the annals of history. Known for his courage and tenacity, Erikson's tale is shrouded in mystery and intrigue. Is it possible that the real discoverer of America was a Viking from Iceland? Does history have it wrong? Join us as we unravel the adventures of the Norse explorer Leif Erikson. Leif Erikson, a child born into a lineage of explorers and adventurers, had greatness etched into his destiny from the very beginning. His birth took place around the year 970, and he was conceived as the offspring of the fiery and infamous Viking, Eric the Red. Eric was not just renowned for his crimson hair and temper, but also for his audacious exploration and settlement of Greenland. Growing up amidst the stark contrasts of the rugged, beautiful land of fire and ice in Iceland, Leif's character was chiseled into of a robust and adventurous young lad. His early life was drenched in the tales of his father's daring feats. Eric the Red was truly a titan. He was an exile from Norway and Iceland who braved the seas to the west and unmasked a vast, frosty expanse he optimistically christened Greenland. The stories of his father's ventures and his unwavering resolve would help to ignite Leif's wanderlust. Even though Leif Erikson was born into a lineage of great explorers, he did not directly grow up with his family. In accordance with Viking tradition, when he was just 8 years old, Leif moved in with a man named Thyrka. A German captive who had been brought to Iceland by Eric the Red, Thyrka was not enslaved but rather treated as a member of the household. He played a pivotal role in shaping Leif's intellect and skills. Thyrka was a man of knowledge and wisdom, and he passed on these traits to young Leif. He taught him how to read and write runes, the ancient symbols that were more than just an alphabet. They were powerful symbols that held the magic of the world. He also educated him in the Celtic and Russian languages, expanding Leif's understanding of the world beyond the Viking realm. The art of trade, an essential skill for survival and prosperity in Viking society, was another valuable lesson imparted by Thyrka. But it was not all work and no play for young Leif. When he was not engrossed in his studies, he would join his friends to watch the ships come into the harbor. As the sailors disembarked, their tales of adventure on the high seas and in foreign lands would captivate Leif. These stories fueled his imagination and stoked his desire for exploration. Thyrka also introduced Leif to the old sagas, the legendary tales of the Norse gods and heroes. These stories resonated with Leif, inspiring him to dream of his own legendary exploits. Under Thyrka's tutelage, Leif also learned plant studies, an essential skill for survival in the harsh Nordic climate and for voyages on the open sea. Finally, the use of weapons was a critical part of Leif's education. From wielding a sword to throwing a spear, these skills were vital for a Viking, whether for hunting, for defense, or for battle. Thyrka's mentorship was instrumental in molding Leif into a well-rounded individual, ready to embark on his own journey of exploration. Leif Erikson learned a great deal from Thyrka and was inspired by his father's adventures. Fueled by his own curiosity, he was ready to set off into the unknown. Leif Erikson embarked on a journey that would etch his name in the annals of history. Leif had heard tales of a land far west of Greenland from an Icelandic trader, Bjarni Herjolfsson, who had been blown off course. Intrigued, Erikson purchased Bjarni's ship, assembled a crew of 35 men, and set sail around the year 1000. He was driven by a thirst for adventure, a desire to expand trade routes, and perhaps a curiosity to verify Bjarni's tales. Their voyage was fraught with challenges. The unpredictable North Atlantic weather was a formidable adversary demanding the utmost skill in navigation and seamanship. Unlike his father, who had discovered Greenland, Erikson was sailing into the unknown with only hearsay as his guide. After weeks at sea, they sighted land, a place of flat rocks and glaciers, which Erikson named Helluland, present-day Baffin Island. Not quite the fertile land Bjarni had described, they sailed further south, discovering a forested area Erikson named Markland. now known as Labrador. Finally, they arrived at a place with a mild climate, fertile soil, and an abundance of salmon, a place Erikson named Vinland. There, they built temporary shelters and spent the winter. They explored the surrounding area, gathering grapes and timber, resources not available in Greenland. But the voyage was not without conflict. Erikson and his crew encountered the native inhabitants, the Skraelings. Initial trade interactions were peaceful, but misunderstandings led to skirmishes. Outnumbered, Erikson decided to retreat, returning to Greenland the following spring. Leif Erikson had achieved what no European had done before. He had discovered a new continent. He had not only survived the perilous journey, but also established temporary settlements, interacted with the indigenous population, and brought back valuable resources. However, despite his exploration, Leif Erikson would never colonize the region. Neither his siblings, Thorvald Erikson and Freydis Eiríksdóttir, nor the Icelander Thorfinn Karlsefni, who visited Vinland after Erikson did so. Upon his return to Greenland, Erikson devoted his life to promoting Christianity. His mother, Theodhild, was an early convert and built Greenland's first Christian church at Brattahlid, Eric the Red's home in the settlement's east. Leif Erikson, following in his father's footsteps, Eric the Red assumed the role of leader of the eastern settlement in Greenland, an area populated by the Norse. As a leader, Leif worked to establish trade ties with other Norse communities and to strengthen the roots of Christianity in Greenland. It is believed that Leif lived out his life in Greenland, dying around the year 1020. Leif's most renowned expedition, the voyage to Vinland, was a critical turning point in history. Erikson sailed across the Atlantic, becoming the first documented European to tread on North American soil, a whole half-millennium before Columbus. The exact location of Vinland remains a mystery, but in 1963, the remnants of an 11th century Viking settlement were unearthed at L'Anse aux Meadows in northern Newfoundland. Declared a UNESCO National Historic Site, it is the earliest European settlement discovered in North America. Over 2,000 Viking artifacts have been retrieved from it. In honor of Erikson's pioneering expedition in September 1964, the United States proclaimed October 9th as Leif Erikson Day, a national day of observance. Various groups have tried to elevate this celebration, yet due in part to the fact that Columbus's later voyage had a more direct impact on European migration to North America, its status has remained unchanged. Nonetheless, Erikson's expedition is honored by statues throughout the United States, as well as in Newfoundland, Norway, Iceland, and Greenland. Today, the Exploration Museum in Iceland annually presents its Leif Erikson Awards for exploration accomplishments. Leif Erikson, the pioneering European to tread on North American soil, continues to inspire us with his tales of audacity and exploration. If you've enjoyed our retelling of Leif Erikson's adventures, please support our channel, like, subscribe, and contribute through patreon.com. Thank you.